uh, request everyone who is able to hear my voice just to mute, use the mute option at your end for a smooth conduct of this webinar session.
Hello, Nabsar.
Yeah, welcome to everyone for participating in this webinar session being organized by MarketScope. We have continuously people adding on to the webinar session. So there is a possibility of some time lag in the voice that we share and what is received at your end. So welcome once again. This is Nab Shrivastava, your host for the evening. The topic of the webinar is pain points of parents pertaining to their children's career studying in class 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So a brief about myself. I am Nab Shrivastava, a mechanical engineer by qualification from Delhi College of Engineering and a PGDM/MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Indore. I have served in the corporate world for nearly 20 years, and lately I have also served in the education sector. Along with me is our expert panelist, Mr. Mukesh Batra, Managing Director, MarketScope, New Delhi. Mr. Batra is a chemical engineer from IIT Delhi, 1985 batch, and a prominent name in the recruitment space, career mentoring sector, and imparting of education. He is also a renowned consultant for corporate restructuring. Welcome, Mr. Mukesh Batra. Request you to share a brief about yourself.
Thank you, Nab sir. Thank you, everybody, for joining in the middle of the week. At the end of the day, I am Mukesh Batra, IIT Delhi alumnus with 30 plus years experience in recruitments and more than 10 plus years experience in school careers. I would have impacted more than 10,000 careers in corporates and 1,000 plus school-going students. So my 30 years experience in recruitment tells me that attitude is one thing which corporates work for, and it is class 8 to 12, which is the time when attitudes are built. Work ethics, values, which are instrumental for building up attitude. Sorry for this.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Call for there. So I would request Nab sir to come up with the first question.
Sir, so just to share with our audience and who is joining us by the moment, that the format of this webinar has been designed for manner that we have collected questions from parents regarding the concerns about their children, upbringing, and their future. So we have generalized those questions, and we will put across to Mr. Mukesh Batra and seek his response. So the first question, sir, is from Ms. Rashmi Bhatia from Chandigarh, who says that I have two sons. One is in 9th standard and the other is in 11th standard. Since the advent of coronavirus and the subsequent lockdown, the children are confused and puzzled. They neither study properly nor play properly. They are displaying signs of disorientation. Please advise what to do. Is there any way out?
Corona is once in a lifetime, once in a century event. It has ruffled all of us. We are mature human beings. We have handled. I think we request everybody to be on mute.
Just to brief that, okay, this is a technological tool. We are using it maybe for the first time. So whosoever is joining us would use the mute button, and even
both
if it
audio and video,
and yeah, both audio and video, and otherwise if it is not possible, just be patient and we will take care of the rest. Please, yeah. Mr. Batra, carry on.
Thank you. Thank you. So Corona is an event, once in a lifetime, once in a century kind of a calamity. We as parents are mature human beings. We have seen calamities of certain level and certain scale, disasters of certain level and certain scale. But we are also ruffled. We are also at loss. But our job is to help the students, help our children. So we need to engage these kids, whether it's class 9, class 11, any class. We need to engage them in mainstream activities of the household. Now, what are these activities of the household we are talking about? It is cleaning, it is sweeping, it is washing utensils. It is as simple as watering of plants. There is a huge learning in each and every activity. Some of these activities I have also done personally for the first time in my life. I realized one thing, that cleaning of utensils and washing, sweeping, these are activities which are very similar to what you or most of you would have done, or some of you would have done in temples, gurdwaras. The concept of seva you would have done. So there is a huge amount of learning. So these learnings have to be inculcated through a positive communication to these children, and they have to be engaged. When they are engaged, they experience a feeling of belonging to the family, and they feel they are contributing to this crisis. Family bonding is something which is helping everybody, the parents as well as the kids. So we need to be together. We need to engage them. Ludo. Ludo is a game. Globally, it is the world's most downloaded app. Ludo was a game which we used to play when we were in school, which means we are going back to basics. So, mantra of today, in the Corona times, for parents with respect to children and for children with respect to parents, is back to basics. And this is one opportunity which God has given us, that whatever basics as parents we were not able to drive home our point with respect to our children, this has given us an opportunity where we can actually demonstrate what are the learnings and what are the basics. And on the same line, I would like to emphasize that there is a very thin line between need and greed. When we were in school, we were subjected to need-based purchases. We had limited budgets, limited resources. Any housewife is a natural manager of resources. Any middle-class person is a good manager because he or she has done this all the time with limited resources in the family. That's it from my side on this question. Next question, please.
Sir, there is another question from Miss Sangeeta Sarnathan. She says, my child is in 9th standard and a movie buff. He watches all the latest Bollywood movies. His ambition is to become a movie maker. That is a typical Bollywood director. Is there any specific course or curriculum or roadmap to become one?
Bollywood actors and film stars, as well as cricketers, are the mainstream role models of today. So anybody and everybody, and this is, you are talking of maybe a tier 2 or tier 3 town or city.
अच्छा मेरी मीटिंग शुरू हो रही है, मैं आपसे बात करता हूँ फिर भाई यादव। ठीक है।
Nab sir, please request on the chat.
Yeah.
For this disturbance be rectified, please.
A button at their end.
Yeah. So I would repeat, Bollywood stars and actors, they are the role models of most of the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 places. and all the children want to become like them. However, as a performing art, Bollywood is a career where success percentage is very low. And reaching the top, it is as much to do with talent and potential as with luck. So both luck and talent are equally important. And this has been acknowledged by some of the current stream of successful stars who have appeared on TV shows and interviews. So the parents have to recognize this. First step is assessment. Assessment of potential, assessment of talent of the child with respect to the external market requirements of that particular segment, Bollywood segment. We at MarketScope have a team of domain experts, technology experts, and performing arts experts who can do this task of talent validation. Once the parents are convinced through external validation process, which I just mentioned, then if they actually realize that the child is passionate about a career in film, then they should allow the guy to go the distance. I'm assuming the parents have the financial bandwidth to support this kind of career path. Typical career construction timeline is 5 to 7 years after BTech, MBA, or post-graduation, any other stream. But the timeline for this kind of career is very high. At least 10 to 12 years, it will be there. So if the parents have the financial bandwidth, they can ensure and they can support the guy, the child, to go the distance. As you must have seen one of the films called Three Idiots, Aamir Khan plays a role where he follows his heart, where he follows his passion. And every parent wants the child to be a happy child. His character in the movie is an aspirational from a point of view of the parent as well as the child. So academics cannot be ignored. So a right combination of academics and passion leading to a career. If your passion can become your career, the guy should be allowed to fly. And the entire family, along with the child, should support in the child going the distance. I'm all for it. But the balance has to be maintained. For example, some of the guys who are currently film stars, they are engineering graduates. Some of them are economics graduates, which means they focused on the academics and at the right time, strategically at the right time, they took a plunge and moved into Bollywood as a full-time career. Similarly, most of you must have seen MS Dhoni's movie. He also took both the paths till a particular time period. And at a strategically right time, he took the plunge. Although he belonged to a family which was not financially well off, but at the right time, right place, and at the end of the day, success is all about being at the right place at the right time.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as we speak, the number of participants is zooming, so a lot of my attention is going into admitting those participants into the webinar session. So my attention is obviously divided on both the fronts. I want to do justice to everyone, but bear with my...
Yeah, I think one or two guys have continued to do the talking, or either they are attending the phone calls. Yes. I would just request them to keep their phones also on mute, apart from the mute.
So I have just shared our WhatsApp number and our email ID. So we would be most welcome in receiving suggestions and ideas in improving this format in terms of content and delivery. Secondly, Mr. Batra is also available on a one-on-one session with any one of you if wanted, and if desired, you can put in a request on the given WhatsApp number, and we will book a slot of your along with your child, along with the relevant documents to chart out a career path for your child. So these options are available, and this is just one of the webinars that we are organizing. There would be a series of webinars in the pipeline, and so do share the feedback of this webinar session among your peers. Sir, there is another question from Mr. Saurabh Prasad from Shahjahanpur. He says that my son is very intelligent and hardworking. We are also affluent and ready to invest in the child's education in terms of providing him access to quality tutors and school education. However, in spite of all our efforts and the child's efforts, there seems to be a little positive outcome. Please advise.
Affluence in the context of the family is a huge plus point. Affluence with respect to the child, if not handled properly, as I stated earlier, I would repeat, because this is a specific case. Of course, we would need all the details in terms of the report card, his timetable, what is his schedule, and what is his participation in extracurricular activities and sports. Having said that, I would reiterate that affluence with respect to the child, typically, if handled properly, the line between need and greed is handled properly by the parent, then it can be a plus point. But at times what happens, a lot of parents, they end up spoiling their child for choices, which means the child does not differentiate between need and greed. So I would request such parents to emphasize the value of money, importance of money in the life of the student, the child, as well as the underprivileged, between the haves and the have-nots. Difference between the haves and have-nots need to be conveyed very clearly. Now, this communication of parent in this particular area is very important. Parent at times ends up buying an iPhone, which is a high-end phone in the bracket of 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees. And how can that parent stop a 500 rupee purchase, 500 rupee need, so-called need of the child? So if the words and action are not aligned, then it sends a very confused signal to the child. So once the child is confused, he cannot focus. He is a distracted child. He gets different messages from different sides. Mother is saying something else. Father is saying something else. Grandparents are saying something else. At times, it becomes a case of clash of generations within the family. And this I'm saying more specifically with respect to those families where 3 generations are staying together. I have a particular suggestion which I have implemented personally in my own family and in my friend's family. I've told a lot of my friends to do this, and they have implemented this pretty successfully. The suggestion is very simple. Every member of the family should be contributing to the lifestyle, work schedule, and inputs which the child is receiving. So for example, anything to do with health, hygiene, food, my wife's department. This is with respect to my own experience of my own kids. Anything to do with academia and careers, it is my department. anything to do with love, spoiling, as they say in Punjabi and Hindi, laad pyar, it is my mother's department. Anything to do with strictness, discipline, tight schedule, it is my father's department. So if we do this department-wise allocation and have very clear mandate and very clear communication, then nobody is getting into each other's territory, which is very important. Because otherwise what happens is, if I start talking about health and my wife's opinion about the same issue with respect to upbringing of my child is different, it is sending conflicting signals to the child. The child is thoroughly confused. So unless we maintain that balance, if the balance is maintained, confusion is minimized in the mind of the child. If confusion is minimized, then we come up with a very clear plan. Like I mentioned, there is a work ethic, discipline, a particular schedule to be made. So we would need to have that kind of data. What is the schedule of the child when the school is open? What is the schedule of the child pre-corona times? What is the schedule of child in current times? And what is going to be the schedule of the child in post-corona times? So this schedule in terms of a timetable is the operating model. It is the tangible action items model. Rest is all Gyan. Gyan will not lead us to anywhere. So parents are requested to create their timetables of the children and if needed, have it validated with us. Maybe I think next webinar, we are going to organize a series of webinars. At least 2 webinars are going to be dedicated to this topic of timetable, because this is the ultimate tangible action items plan. And one of the parents needs to take up ownership of implementation of this plan. So that is the tangible way forward. So once we have sorted out these issues, the child is clear, the timetable is clear, then we reach to the level of balance again between pursuing a passion and academic excellence. Because this particular thing, the process which I have outlined, takes care of motivation level of the child. Lot of times parents are stressed because of these issues. Like one of our great father of the nation said, biggest source of stress in this world is disconnect between thought and action. This is as much as true for the child as well as for the parents. Thank you.
Very well received, sir. So just to add on this, that in life we say that practice what you preach. So it's very easy to give sermons to the child without practicing something completely opposite to what you are saying. And so this obviously creates dissonance in the child's mind. Just to cite an example from my own experiences, that say a cricketer like MS Dhoni or a Kapil Dev, they set the fitness standards themselves and the rest of the team and the country then followed. So it's very difficult to tell another person to follow a fitness schedule, whereas you are doing completely the opposite. Sir, just a small request to you, sir. Our audience is bilingual and from North India, from South India, from abroad. So if your answers could be bilingual and with usage of Hindi and Urdu couplets and Hindi language, that would be better.
Okay. Okay.
The next question is from Mr. Manish Mathur. He says that my child is a quality cricketer and reasonably good in academics. His coach has shared with us that he has the potential to become a first-class cricketer. That is, he will definitely go up to becoming a Ranji level cricketer. However, while pursuing academics as well as sports simultaneously, it is proving very difficult for the child as well as the family. they are torn apart in two different priorities. Please advise a workable solution.
Yeah, cricket is a career now. Maybe 10 years back, it was not a career. Cricket definitely is a career now. And we have a classic case of Dhoni, what he did. And he came from a lower middle class background and he uh, went the distance. His family, like I had mentioned earlier, allowed him and supported him in pursuing his passion. And like I had mentioned for Bollywood, same thing is true for cricket. The external validation has been done. The coach has said the guy is good. So if the family can support, which I've already said, there is a very clear window of, depending on the age, there's a very clear window of 10 years. The balancing of the academics with cricket has to be done. And we have already dwelled on Dhoni's example. So the guy should be allowed to go the distance and should get full support from the family, friends, and any which way. Cricket is something which anybody and everybody wants to encourage. So I think all the best to the family. They should take it forward and maybe this gentleman figures in the India 11 5 to 10 years down the line. All the best.
Okay, all the best to this particular family, and
Yeah.
we hope we are talking to a future national level cricketer's parent.
If not national level, at least Ranji Trophy level. Even Ranji cricketer is good. Now Ranji cricket along with T20, IPL, leagues, county cricket in English, South Africa, Australia, it's done. I mean, it's a good career option. And whatever benefits were missing, the new BCCI head, Saurav Ganguly, is ensuring that those benefits are given. And one of the major KRAs, key result areas, is to improve the life of an average cricketer, which basically means first class cricket, whoever is playing, whether it's Ranji Trophy or any other tournament, his life has to be taken care of.
Sir,
all the best.
There is a comment from Mr. Shobhit Krishna. He says that other than Bollywood stars and Indian cricketers, which other role models and their success stories of luminaries can be followed? Sir, if I can say, Mr. E. Sridharan, who founded the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, which is a proven success story, is an example of that, and his role in establishing the Konkan Railway network across our western coast. So this is one example, and we assure Mr. Shobhit Krishna that we will have a detailed reply to your query or your suggestion, and this is extremely well appreciated. So the next question is from Miss Radhika Chaudhary. She says, how much external pressure should be applied on the child, and whether we should leave the child alone to have an internal awakening for his career prospects, or use the stick? Please advise. Sir, just a reminder, sir, please be bilingual. Use both Hindi and English while answering us.
Okay. This is a question, this is a challenge faced by a very high percentage of parents. Now, parents typically, they feel हमारे पास बच्चे के लिए टाइम नहीं है. अगर बच्चे के लिए टाइम नहीं है तो उसको पैम्पर कर दो, उसको स्पॉइल कर दो. फिर बच्चा आपके सिर पे बैठ जाता है. जब बच्चा सिर पे बैठ जाता है तो गेम फिर बच्चा खेल रहा है, गेम वो कंट्रोल करता है. और ये जो सिचुएशन है, ये सबसे ज्यादा खतरनाक सिचुएशन होती है कि बच्चा गेम कंट्रोल कर रहा है. तो मेरी ये रिक्वेस्ट है पेरेंट्स के से, जो मैंने बात पहले भी बोली, कि बच्चे को पैसे की वैल्यू समझ में आनी चाहिए. कितना खर्चना है, किस चीज पे खर्चना है, इस पे बहुत क्लियर कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए. और बच्चे के सामने बहुत महंगी चीजें लेने का, बहुत महंगी चीजों पे पैसे खर्चने का डिस्कशन नहीं होना चाहिए। और बच्चे के नजरों में जो रोल मॉडल है, वो रोल मॉडल परफॉर्मर्स होने चाहिए। जैसे अभी नब जी ने मिस्टर श्रीधरन का एग्जाम्पल दिया, तो हर फील्ड में रोल मॉडल है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे देश में होता क्या है, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है। तो बॉलीवुड और क्रिकेट के स्टार्स की ही बातें होती हैं सारी। तो हमें बच्चों को अलग अलग फील्ड में जो रोल मॉडल हैं उनके बारे में बताना चाहिए। अब जो रोल मॉडल हैं उनके बारे में क्या बताना है, उनका लाइफस्टाइल क्या है ये नहीं बताना है, उन्होंने क्या किया वहां पहुंचने के लिए, उनका प्रोसेस क्या था, उन्होंने कितनी मेहनत करी, कितने घंटे काम किया, कितनी गरीबी में, कितनी किल्लत में, कितनी अभाव की स्थिति में उन्होंने पढ़ाई की, कैसे उनका एडमिशन हुआ, कितनी उनको स्कॉलरशिप्स मिली। So we should focus on the process, on the journey, and not the final outcomes. अगर बच्चे को ये समझ में आए, ये करने के लिए, इस पैसा को कमाने के लिए ये रास्ता है, तो उस रास्ते के बारे में बात करनी चाहिए ज्यादा। अगर हम एग्जाम्पल में सचिन तेंदुलकर का और बॉलीवुड स्टार का दे रहा हूं, क्योंकि सचिन तेंदुलकर मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से है। उनकी जो जर्नी है, या विराट कोहली है, उनकी जो जर्नी है उसमें जो सीखने वाली चीज है हमें वो सीखनी चाहिए और बच्चों को वो सिखानी चाहिए। वीरेंद्र सहवाग 2 घंटे साइकिल पे जाते थे या स्कूटर पे जाते थे सुबह 4 बजे उठ के कोचिंग के लिए। ये है वो बात जो समझाने वाली है और सीखने वाली है। कितने बच्चे हैं आज की डेट में जो सुबह 4 बजे उठते हैं? सबसे पहले तो यही बता दीजिए। एक बहुत बड़े मैनेजमेंट के गुरु हैं, उन्होंने ये कहा है कि अगर आप मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, पहले तो अपने आप को मैनेज कर लीजिए, विच इज कॉल्ड सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट। एंड फॉर सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट, टाइम मैनेजमेंट इज द मेन थिंग। एंड फॉर टाइम मैनेजमेंट, getting up in the morning, the wake up time is the main thing. Wake up time will depend on the time when you go to bed. So ultimately, if you get up in time in the morning, rest of the schedule, rest of the activities, they just follow. So what are those parameters which you need to control? Is the wake up time. For wake up time to happen, you need to control 10 other things, which means suppose you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, which means you have to go to bed by 10:30, 11, or maximum 11:30. For that to happen, you should have all the activities planned in a manner from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 or 11:30 in the night. Each and every activity should be planned in a manner in which you're not wasting your time. So either you are studying or you are doing the core hygiene activities of eating and call of nature, or you are playing, or you are doing something which you are passionate about. How much time is the child spending with the parents, with the grandparents? How much time the child is spending with nature? So all this put together is very important.
Very well said, sir. The gloss, the glamour, the glitter, that is visible to the child, but the planning and the efforts that go behind in achieving that is sometimes not aptly or blatantly visible. So we need to put in our efforts to show both sides of the coin and what the cause and effect relationship that is.
Yeah, and the focus has to be on implementation, real implementation. And that parents have to enable it. So that is very important. The ownership has to be taken by, if not both, at least one of the parents, which is very important. Then only things will happen. Otherwise, it's only gyan. Gyan se kuch nahi ho raha.
We acknowledge that, sir. Sir, there is a suggestion that apart from external role models like cricketers, Bollywood stars, or some top corporate honcho like Mr. E. Sridharan, the parents should themselves be a role model in terms of behavior, in terms of ethics, in terms of value management, in terms of hard work, in terms of discipline. So this point is from Mr. Vinay Jha, and which is very well received and acknowledged by Market Scope. Sir, the next...
Yeah, I would like to elaborate on that because that is very important. Parents are a natural role model for kids because it is the parents whom the child observes from very close quarters. The child does not get exposed to any other life, any other human life, in terms of what time is the gentleman, what time is my father getting up, what time is he going to office, when is he coming from office, and most important, behavior. How does my father interact with my grandfather? Children, they learn from seeing is believing. They don't learn from gyan. They see what is being done. So if the child's father is telling the child to behave properly and the father is not behaving properly with his father, which means the child's grandfather, then it is all gyan. And gradually, the child's father is losing respect in the eyes of the child. So this is very important. So, like I mentioned earlier, in each and every aspect of upbringing, each and every aspect of communication between the parent and the child, there should not be any disconnect between words and action. There are a lot of stories where children have dramatically transformed. Typical weight loss stories that has happened only once the mother has lost the weight. She has gone out of the way, or the father has gone out of the way. So, parents are natural role models for the child. So, they simply copy. Because that is a very easy thing for the child to do. Otherwise, we are creating a kind of this sense of disorientation, sense of not belonging to the family, kind of a sentiment within the child. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, there is another question that my child has an inconsistency in his academic performance. It is like a sinusoidal curve. Please tell the remedial measures for this. The question is from Mr. Gaurav Srivastava, Lucknow.
Dissonance. Sorry, could you repeat the first part of the question?
There is complete inconsistency in academic performance.
Okay. Whatever factors I have mentioned, that could be one of the reasons. And maybe a combination of all, or some of them could be the reason for the inconsistency. And one of the key factors would be that the child is not at peace with himself. So child is undergoing a lot of stress, which could be a huge factor. And the child is experiencing a sense of disorientation. The factors we have already discussed. So I think this question, all the elements have already been covered. So still, I will repeat the operational model for this, what needs to be done in this case. Of course, we need to have all the parameters like report card and extracurricular activities and subject-wise analysis we can only do if we have that kind of data, and participation in sports and extracurricular activities and related stuff. We need to figure out what is the child passionate about. If that is not the case, then the next step is what does the child like doing? Certain activities the child likes doing, and we need to find that out. How much importance does the child give to academics? So if the child is not plugged in academics, then we are kind of creating external pressure. So we need to get to the psyche or the interest level of the child with respect to those activities as well as his engagement with academics. As a starting point, we need to plug the gap, which is the cause, as per my understanding, the child is not at peace with himself or herself. So again, going back to that time management mantra, the child should get up in time and should spend time, invest time in some physical activity which leads to sweating, followed by 10 to 15 minutes of pranayam or meditation. If pranayam or meditation is not done in the morning, then there should be an element of gratitude and prayer before the child goes to bed. And child can be exposed to some meditation kind of music if the child is not doing pranayama and meditation, because that creates the meditation part, helps to pacify, calm the mind, as they say. Time spent in the open with nature again is a huge source of positive energy. So these things would help to calm the mind, and once the mind is calm, then we should subject the child to external assessment or validation of whatever activities he or she is good in, apart from academic validation, which anyway to an extent gets validated through report cards and participation in sports and extracurricular activities. What is the level? And from there we can take the time management path. And first we figure out what is the engagement level and where is the disconnect, and then we can take it forward.
Sir, next question is from Mr. Ajay Singh from Allahabad. He says, I am blessed with 2 daughters and a son. My daughter is, two daughters are elder and the son is the youngest. My daughters are doing academically extremely well, but my son simply refuses to study or exert himself while studying and displays a violent, rebellious character whenever told to study. Please advise a way out.
This is a classical case of, I'm not saying that this would be the case, but I am just, because we don't have specific data on various factors which we have just discussed. I would assume that in a typically male-dominated society, and our society has a lot of craving for sons, and sons are typically pampered in the family. I'm not saying specifically that this is the case in this particular family. But having said that, we are at a stage where first we need to do diagnostic, which means what you said is as is, where is basis. So we have the daughters who are doing well. We have the son who's not doing very well. In fact, not doing well at all. Plus, he has certain behavioral traits which are undesirable, which are not to the liking of the family, and socially also it's an embarrassment for the family. I can figure that out. So again, I will come to my original model, because I try and make sure whatever I have done, I have tried to propagate and enable people to inculcate those kind of practices and values. So the way forward I would suggest is what I just suggested for the previous gentleman, that getting up in time and time management. And again, the department approach which I had suggested. So both the parents and the daughters have to ensure, have to take up certain responsibilities. Maybe one daughter can take care of the academic part because she is doing very well. Another, maybe some subjects, one daughter can take care, and she should work with the child on those subjects. Again, at a fundamental level, what I just mentioned for the previous case is a similar kind of case. First, the child needs to be at peace with himself. For all that to happen, certain level of discipline and physical activity has to be, what should I say, in the timetable of the child. And subsequently, once everybody's role is defined, then they share notes with each other. And they should be very clear about one thing, like I mentioned earlier, no conflicting messages going to the child. So both the parents, and if the grandparents are there, then they should take up their own role. And a lot of times, our generation, they get sandwiched between the two generations, because grandparents generally like to pamper the grandsons and granddaughters. So because of that, our generation parents, and which I suppose would be the main audience to whom we are talking, should ensure that conflicting message and conflicting inputs don't go into the mind of the child, because it confuses the whole scenario, and it actually goes into undo mode of a lot of good work which would have been done otherwise.
Right, sir. So there is another question from Mr. Amit Huda from Dwarka, Delhi. He says that my daughter is in 8th standard and is doing extremely well. She has also won a scholarship from Fiji Coaching Institute. But my son, who is in 11th standard and who is elder to her, is just not prepared to apply his mind to academics. This seems to be a similar question to the previous one. The son keeps on idolizing Lionel Messi, the Argentina footballer. Unfortunately, when they took him to a football academy for trials, he failed miserably. Please advise how to counsel the child.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, external validation needs to be done, which in this case has already been done. So the child needs to be told that Messi is, again, is a role model. So the process which has made him the role model needs to be communicated and needs to be implemented. For example, football is a very fitness oriented game. So fitness part needs to be emphasized. So for that to be inculcated, the child needs to be told that this is a fitness regime which you should go through, which means certain number of hours in practice, certain number of hours in running, certain kind of diet, and all that. So related stuff has to be ensured. So which will motivate the child to at least improve on the fitness level. And then gradually you should say, yes, you should play football. But fortunately or unfortunately, football is not a very lucrative career in India. So if the parents have the financial bandwidth, then they should allow the child to go the distance. Maybe he becomes some league player in Europe, but that is one possibility, because there it is financially also viable. One of my close friend's son, he was in the school football team, and at the school level he was in the national. He then got into the national team. So the career roadmap for him was league in Europe, but he was that good. So we need to communicate that to him, and we should focus on the process. I'll repeat, the process which Messi has to go through, and gradually we have to have academics in the schema of things for this particular child, because again the balancing has to be done, because like I mentioned, however, if the child actually gets into the fitness regime, then fitness-oriented careers are some good options. Fitness and physical education kind of careers are a good option. And nowadays, sports management is also emerging as one of a good area, especially in the wake of all these leagues being organized like IPL and even in the football, badminton, all these sports. Certain private leagues have also come up, and that's a booming market. Of course, in the post-corona scenario, things will change. As they say, context is the king. The biggest, because I'm a huge fan of Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita says that context is the king. So I don't know how things shape up after corona, but it will take a few years. So I think the fitness part needs to be emphasized, and academics has to be incorporated rather into the mainstream of activity of the child.
Okay, sir. As I would just like to share that people are still joining us on the webinar, and
Okay.
we welcome Mr. Supti to this session. But though he has entered a bit late in the session, we still extend our warmth, and we will try to do justice to the remaining questions. Sir, there is a question from Mr. Vinayak Sinha from Bhopal. He says, my son Kabir is extremely hardworking and sincere and reasonably intelligent. He puts in hours and hours in studying. In fact, he doesn't even go out to play or do any exercise. While talking or interacting with others or within the family, he comes out as a very sharp child. But during exams, he panics and develops cold feet and goofs up in answering the question paper. He secures extremely low marks or marks not commensurate to his potential. What should we do as a parent?
This is a classic case of, I think we are putting too much pressure on the child, and fear of failure is the biggest stumbling block. This is a classic example of that scenario. So the child is putting too much pressure on himself. Whether that pressure is being put by the family, friends, school, I don't know. So there's a very clear list of do's and don'ts for parents for this kind of a scenario. And that is that beyond a point, we should not put undue pressure. And the child should be communicated very clearly for a certain kind of success. Because here we are talking of, say, if we want to quantify, we're talking about 80, we're not talking about 100. So for 80 to be achieved, there has to be a certain product mix, certain kind of activities, and certain, again, I go back to that timetable thing, certain kind of activities need to be done in a certain kind of manner and in certain proportion. So I'm a huge foodie, so I give a lot of food related examples. So if you need to prepare a good food, a good, what should I say, pulao, rice pulao. So certain elements need to be in the right place. There's a certain process in place. It has to be heated, reheated, etc., etc., etc. So all the elements need to be in the right proportion and at the right speed, right pace, right time. This needs to be communicated to the child and actually implemented. So which means certain amount of time with sources of positive energy like nature, certain kind of activities like yoga, meditation, and certain activities which the child enjoys, which we say, take a break. आपने 15 मिनट टीवी देख लिया, आधा घंटा वॉक कर लिया. So these are good refreshing activities. No stint of the child should be more than 40 minutes to 1 hour. Non-stop studies से कुछ होता नहीं. It's because ultimately the process of marks is, and the process of academic excellence, there is a method to it. बच्चा पढ़ रहा है, क्या वो नोट्स बना रहा है? कैसे नोट्स बनाता है वो? we need to get down to that. What class is this child?
Sir, they have not.
Have they mentioned?
No, sir, they have not
Okay.
mentioned the class
Okay.
of
So
in which he.
बच्चा notes कैसे बना रहा है? क्या वो notes बना के समझ रहा है? बच्चा chapter कितनी बारी पढ़ रहा है? So we have to get down to that granular level. For that, we would need to interact with the child and the parents in much more detail to figure out. Otherwise, it's a classic case of a lot of points which I've already mentioned.
Just to add on to what Mr. Batra has said, that it may sound very trivial that what is so great in sweating out or exercising. So my request to all the audiences that yes, it may sound very trivial, but in fact, it has been validated, and we have a lot of empirical evidence that says that exercises and or personal health or physical health and academic performance are never at cross purposes with each other. So they feed into each other. That if you have good health, it leads to a good academic performance, and a good academic performance leads to a moral boost and a good mental state. So my parents are requested not to sacrifice their child's health or mental well-being in pursuance of academic excellence. Sir, we are almost out of time, so we would like to just squeeze a small question and
Sure.
before winding up for the day. Sir, this question is from Mr. Gurpreet Singh from Amritsar. He says, my child has a lot of stamina to do gossip, mongering, playing pranks, both at home and outside. But whenever he starts studying, he gets exhausted very early and complains of extremely poor stamina and feels exhausted. Is there any remedy to it?
We should look at it in a very positive manner. So all this gossip, activity, pranks, mimicry, and related activities are actually very positive signs. And if the child is really good, again, I'll come back. If there is a external validation to be done, if the child is good in all that, then there are certain careers. Now, in the modern era, new careers have emerged. Stand-up comedians are there, TV serials are there, storytellers are in huge demand in corporates as well as in school ecosystem, because the traditional educational system has kind of failed. So we have to work out innovative means to educate the children and come up with innovative ways, and storytelling is one of the innovative ways which cuts across age groups, and even in the corporates it is being used as a very effective tool. Apart from corporates, NGOs also look for storytellers to impact the healthcare and education and certain sectors which the government has kind of not done very well in handling. So from economic crisis point of view also, these activities, because they percolate right down to the last level, the last level of the society. So what we should do is get an external validation done, and then based on that, take a call and try and make the child understand that you are spending so much time on this. Let's find out how good you are. And again, you have to balance it with academics for the time being. And if the child is good, let the child fly and go the distance. But the balance between academics and all these activities, they should has to be there, and parents should ensure that there should not be a negative connotation to these kind of activities. तो बच्चे को ये बताना है कि मतलब मस्ती है तो मस्ती है, but पढ़ाई पढ़ाई है, मस्ती मस्ती है. So there has to be a very clear balance between the both the tracks, whether it is masti track or whether it is the academic track. And so that's it.
Mr. Batra, we have almost run out of time. Thanks a lot for your for sparing us your valuable time out of your extremely busy schedule. Thanks to all the audience who have spared the Wednesday after office hours for us. Do put in your feedback in terms of how to improve our content delivery, the format design, the content creation, the usage of social media tools, if any, or any suggestion you deem fit. It would always be appreciated. We have dropped in our WhatsApp number and our email ID on the uh, chat box. Before winding up, I would again say that this is not the last webinar on this topic. If you can even suggest us a topic on which to conduct a webinar, and there are many more in the pipeline. Thank you, Mr. Batra. Thank you all the audience.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for joining.